What is going on, everybody out there? Lacey and Damon back again with Orlando's Family Farm. Just like before, remember, if you don't subscribe to us, please hit that like and subscribe button. It helps out dramatically. Please, please, please.
We're almost to our goal of 100 subscribers.
What?
And tonight we are celebrating. We are doing a couples Q&A for our 12th wedding anniversary tomorrow, which when this comes out, it will be our anniversary.
Nice.
So we thought it would be fun to do this Q&A and answer a couple questions that you guys gave us. And so, ready, babe?
Absolutely. Let's get into it.
All right, first question. How did we meet?
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Where it all began.
So we met 2007.
Yep.
Summer you graduated, right?
Summer I
Lacey
graduated
high school. So we decided we were going to have a birthday party. We just didn't know whose birthday party because it was through a mutual friend. Come to find out, it ended up being Lacey's birthday party that I ended up throwing.
Yep.
So we had all of our friends over and things like that. Threw her a big birthday party. Had a blast.
Super fun.
Standard practice, though, with parties that I throw, as usual. And so a couple of days later, I gave her a call, asked her out on a date. We went and seen a movie together.
The rest is history.
Got conversating. Found out she lived a couple doors. She actually lived in my
I literally lived like in his backyard in middle school.
But in a house. She lived in my backyard in a house. Let's not get... There wasn't like a tent pitched in my backyard.
No, like my house at the time was butted up to his backyard.
The backyard's connected, guys. Let's
So he literally married the girl next door.
I did. Didn't know
Didn't know it.
Yeah.
We didn't know each other at the time.
No.
But yeah, literally married the girl next door.
Yeah, absolutely. So no, it worked out good. We dated for a couple of years and
moved to the same college town.
Yep.
I was in college. Damon decided he was going to go join the Air Force.
Yep.
And we were just going to try the whole like long distance relationship thing. And a month before you left for basic training,
God had other plans.
God had other plans and put a baby in my belly.
That happened.
And we got married within like a month. We got married April 3rd, April 7th.
7th, I left.
You left for basic training.
Yeah. So it was a pretty crazy month of March for us.
Whirlwind. We actually got married on his grandparents' anniversary, though. We didn't plan it, which was really cool.
Which our oldest son, the one that she was pregnant with at the time, ironically enough, was born on that same grandmother's birthday. So yeah, it was pretty crazy. Pretty crazy for us. But so we didn't get a honeymoon, if you didn't get to tell. We went up to a ski resort in springtime.
And I was violently...
Northern Michigan.
Violently ill with morning sickness, like the entire time I just slept.
Remember the jacuzzi, though, with the bubble bath?
So I don't get out much and do, like, much fancy stuff at the time.
Yeah.
So I brought, like... Damon's like, oh, this, like, room has a jacuzzi, and so it'll be really good. So I was like, oh, cool. So I brought, like, this, like, Bath and Body Works, like, bubble bath stuff. And while he went down and got our room service, I put the bubble bath in the jacuzzi.
I went and got sparkling wine or sparkling water and champagne because you were pregnant.
Yeah, and so I put the bubble bath in.
Yeah.
But I didn't turn it on because I was waiting for him. And so he comes back.
No, you did turn it on.
Oh, I did?
Yeah, remember?
Oh, yeah, you came in the bed.
I came in the room and there were bubbles
everywhere. And even though I couldn't figure out how to turn the jets off.
Yeah.
And it was just like bubbles and bubbles and bubbles and bubbles. It was so bad.
So she laid on the bed while I cleaned everything up, and then I got everything cleaned up, and then she
had to call for more towels.
She was still getting sick. We ended up popping the bottles and like not
I was
even
in bed by like 8 o'clock.
Yeah, not even 10 minutes later. I think I looked over and she was sleeping in bed. So
it was super romantic.
Yeah, it was. And then
So we're due for a real honeymoon, and somebody actually asked us what our dream honeymoon is. Mine is, well, I have two. I really want to go to like those huts on the water, like Fiji. Where you like have like your private hut and there's like nobody by you and nobody can bug you and you're just like on the water, or Italy. I really want to go to Italy, and I know you want to go to Italy too.
Yeah, I would say just Europe in general would be a nice trip, like old world Europe, not like standard London and stuff like that when people go to Europe. Like, it would definitely be Venice and like Sicily and
that would be so cool.
Things like that. Yeah, I got to go to Spain and you didn't get to go, so that was a really good time.
You got to go to Spain and Germany.
I did, yeah.
Without me.
But no, it would be a good time. I think that I would really enjoy that. Obviously, tropical would be super nice somewhere like.
But we don't want like a
Bora
busy
Bora
resort.
Or Fiji.
Yeah, we want like secluded, like just the two of us.
Right, for sure. Yeah.
All right, next question. How has military life challenged our marriage and strengthened it?
A lot of challenges.
Yeah.
Whole lot of challenges. So
I feel like just the biggest challenge for us has just been like the time apart from each other. Like, it's such a huge stressor on me and a huge stressor on you when we're apart.
Yeah.
And so it just causes like miscommunication. Like, it's hard to read tones through phones and text, so things get like misconstrued.
Lost in translation.
And like, he's having a hard time and I'm like, well, what about me? And then, you know, he's like, well, what about me? And I'm like, well, what about me? So I feel like just being apart has always been the hardest for us.
Yeah, I think a good way to liken it too was like the time you guys got to come visit me when I was TDY for like 4 months, and you guys looked at it like a vacation and you thought it was like the coolest thing, but I'm like, yeah, I basically live in this hotel for 4 months. Like,
and I look at it like, I'm stuck here with 2 kids and you're living in a hotel, going out to dinner every night.
Yeah.
And I like think, like you said, like it's like a vacation, but then I have to remember like he's also working and he would rather be home, and it's not fun for him either. So
yeah. And I mean, we've also been in positions before where even when I wasn't gone all the time, I was still gone all the time, right? Because I was always at work and things like that. So that definitely makes it harder on you and the kids, because then I'm physically there.
Right.
I'm just not physically there
like
all
present,
the time.
Yeah.
So I can see how those could definitely be harder on you guys. But yeah, I would definitely say those were some of the biggest challenges, right? And then just being away from family. It seems like every time we've moved, we've tried to get closer,
and we just get further.
We've moved further away, and now we're a 2-day trip from where we're from. So yeah, I definitely would say that those are the biggest challenges I think that we've faced, and just not having that support system like a lot of families do, right?
But I also think that's where our strength lays too, is because it's always just been me and you. Lies. Like, it's just been me and you the past 12 years. And I feel like we are like each other's strongest support system, because it's always just been the two of us. And so we only have each other. And I feel like that's really made us have to like put our heads together, really work through our issues, work through the hard times, and not depend on anybody else. Like, we have each other, and I feel like that's been huge in strengthening our relationship and our marriage.
For sure.
And I feel like if it wouldn't have been that way the last 12 years, like, we could have possibly let other outside factors influence our marriage, and we haven't had that issue because it's always just been the two of us. So
yeah, for sure. And I definitely think that's where we've grown too, right? Like, with each other. Like, the biggest thing is we take from those experiences, and like, as hard as they are in that moment, for each one of us in our own individual ways, when we come back together, we still fight or whatever, but we work through that in a short enough fashion. And just that ability to adapt when there's like something that's super traumatic, that in a lot of marriages or relationships you necessarily would just be like, oh, well, I'm done. Like, this is way too hard. I don't want to keep going through this. We have a tendency to like adapt really quickly to that and go, oh, okay, well, yeah, I was wrong and you were wrong, and this is where we both, so maybe the next time we'll try this, right? And sometimes it's worked well for us when I've been gone, and sometimes it hasn't, right?
Yeah.
So I think
you just have to deal with that when you get back together and say, okay, what can we do for the next, because there's always going to be a next time when we're not together.
Yep.
And so we just have, okay, what can we do? How can we communicate differently? How can we do this so that the next time I leave, we don't have this issue?
Yeah, or it's not as big of an adaptation.
And I was 19, he was 22 when we got married. Like, we basically grew up together.
Yeah.
Like, we are not the same people now that we were, and our marriage has not been perfect whatsoever the last 12 years. But I also feel like we're a lot stronger because of the struggles that we went through and the things that we've overcame together. And so I'm kind of I'm grateful for them, because I feel like we wouldn't be where we are now if we hadn't been through the things we've been through together. So.
For sure. And I mean, just like, look at you, right? So like, those of you that are in the military, you understand, like, when you leave, anything that can go wrong will go wrong, right? So the fact that you've adapted to that and been able to be like, because I mean, we've PCS'd within 45 days before. And I've left within 24 hours before. I've left within 10 hours before. So that ability to adapt to that and just flip that switch, I definitely think has made you grow as a person as well as a wife, right? So I think that makes it so you can independently operate without me, and I can independently operate without you, but we know when we're together, that we're a lot stronger. So I think a lot of marriages necessarily don't get that, because it's always, oh, well, if I'm done, or if I leave, or if I'm having a hard time, I have this huge support system to my side. But at the end of the day, like, our best support system is when we come back together, right?
Yep.
So,
I agree.
Yeah. So
lots of good things and lots of hard things, but they're all have gotten us to where we are today.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, this is the last question. So what have you learned from me? And then I'll answer what I've learned from you.
I've learned a lot from you. I would say probably the biggest things I've learned from you are how to be more compassionate. Like, in terms of like showing emotion when it comes to things. Our children,
being, like,
for example.
Vulnerable, you mean? Like,
yeah.
or just like not afraid to like.
Just not afraid to not always be
Mr. Tough Guy?
No, like angry or happy, right? Like before it was like only those two moods, right? So I've definitely learned through you to look at life that way, right? Like, it's always not going to be the greatest thing, and it's okay to like be down sometimes. And compassion for people, right? Like, I was very callous.
I'm very impatient with people.
Yeah.
Like,
extremely
like this, somebody would say or do something and you would like fly off the handle, and I'd be like, bring it down a little bit.
Yeah, so I would definitely say, like, as an overall person, I definitely think you've made me better in terms of that, because now I can slow down and see what other people are thinking and kind of have empathy towards them.
Yeah.
Whereas before it was kind of like, the things I've been through in my life, like, you don't compare, right? So like, why would
zero patience?
Yeah, why would I care about your feelings when, like, you don't care about my own, right? And that definitely was the biggest thing that I learned from you. So
my biggest thing, I was super self-conscious, and I would give and give and give, and people would take and take and take, and I was really bad at sticking up for myself and saying no when I needed to say no. And I feel like he's shown me how I can stick up for myself, and I can still be kind and caring and be, giving to people, but I also have limits. And I feel like you've really done a good job of like helping me like stick up for myself and kind of know my worth and not care what other people think as much. Mm-hmm. Like, at the end of the day, what matters most is my family and my friends and their happiness and my happiness. And if I have to sacrifice my happiness and my time, or my family's happiness and their time, it's not worth it for me to say yes to. And so I just feel like you've really helped me know my worth, show my worth, and not let other people take advantage of me and not care what other people think. So
that's kind of crazy. Like, we just talked about our strengths that we got from each other, and like, you took what was the worst of me and made it better for you.
Right.
And I took the worst of me, what was better for, you know what I mean? Like, we just kind of flip-flopped.
Which is kind of crazy, because a lot of people, like, when we first started dating, we're complete opposites. Like I feel like we still are. We have a lot in common, like a lot of our goals, a lot of like
our ambitions,
values,
values
are
things.
similar, but our personalities are
Completely
night and day.
opposite. Yeah.
And so,
Completely opposite.
but I feel like we do a really great job balancing each other and just kind of like you said, like what one's strengths are the other's weakness.
Yeah.
And so I think that's always what's made us like a really good team.
For sure.
And then a lot of people are like, opposites attract, and I was always like, well, how can opposites attract if they're so different? But I get it now because that's us for sure.
Well, yeah, because like we said earlier, right? When you come together, you're better together because of that, right? If it's two strong-willed personalities,
like similar, yeah.
they're gonna butt heads a lot. Or if it's two non-strong-willed personalities, nothing's ever gonna get accomplished.
Put it in the comments if you and your partner are opposites or similar, because I'm curious to see what it's like, because that's what's worked best for us. So.
Yeah, I seem to think that's going to be the case. Is a lot of them that are the longer relationships and the longer marriages
are opposites.
Are going to be opposites. Yeah.
Let us know in the comments.
For sure.
And then let us know in the comments if you guys have any other questions, and we'll answer them. And don't forget to like and subscribe. I hope you guys like this Q&A.
Please subscribe. Our view rate right now is only like 17% of our subscribers. So if you're watching this for whatever reason, we're glad you're here. We hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe. Please like down below. Help us out. And hopefully we can help you. And thanks for watching, guys.
Let's grow together.